So today for our hero highlight, this is Laurie's dad. Looks like I forgot for end parentheses, Ted Kuntz. He served during the Vietnam era with his duty station in Hawaii, and this year will mark 30 years since his passing. And then I'm going to let Laurie tell you more about him in just a minute. But Laurie is our spotlight speaker. She is with the Honor Bell Foundation. And let me stop sharing here so that we can see you, Laurie. Would you like to share with us about your dad?
Yeah, so my dad served during Vietnam and he felt bad because he was not in Vietnam, but as we learned more and more, just because they were not able to pick their duty station does not mean they did not serve during the Vietnam era and they still were treated the same way. So I'm sure many of you veterans can understand that. And he just, came back and had a life of gratitude and servitude to his community. He was a tractor mechanic and raised, was a single parent of two kids until his passing. So
Right.
it's, I'm humbled to have called my dad. So,
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you for his service. Not that you served, but to support our family is in a way a service. So
yes.
and Lori is with the Honor Bell Foundation, as I had mentioned, and their mission is to create a community of veterans to foster public appreciation of military service and honor their fellow veterans with a proper final tribute. And they toll a 1,000 pound bronze bell at the end of veterans' funerals. So I'm going to let you take it from here.
Okay.
You go here.
Trying to
Yeah,
get my
let's learn some
PowerPoint to
more.
work
Can you
here.
start her at 15 minutes now? Hannah Papa John. There you go. Restart her. There you go.
Okay, so now I'm getting my PowerPoint working. So we are the Honor Bell Foundation. We were founded in 2016 is when we first made our first launch. I don't know why this is like trying to there. Hopefully it'll work. So we first began tolling in 2016. So our founders went to a World War II veteran's funeral, and there was no volleys, nothing for them. So they decided they wanted to do something different. So they did some research and figured out what the uh, funeral bells were, and kind of did a little modified. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. So, thank you guys for all for your service that are veterans in the group. I am not, I'm a veteran advocate and have been volunteering for veteran service organizations for more than 30 years. So we know what veterans look like. This is what we see, but we also know that veterans look like this. So they're aging. Some are still very young, which we are very appreciative of, but they're still serving. When they get out of the military, they continue to serve.
So,
Um,
Lori, we're not seeing your we are seeing your PowerPoint.
just,
Your
That
notes section. We're not actually seeing your slides. We're seeing your notes section.
oh, well, that's fun. How does that
Well, go
change? Okay.
uh go up to Lori, go up to where it
yeah,
said slideshow. Oh, okay.
he had it
Yeah, I
there.
just want to stop sharing for a second and see if it works. Well, you see my notes, so you can read them.
So when you get there, go to the slideshow.
There you go.
There you go.
Do you guys see it now?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
we
We
see
still see your notes.
your notes. Mhm.
Oh well.
Which is fine.
Well, I
That's
okay.
fine.
I'm not sure why. So don't read the notes because I'm not going to read them. So when we see funerals today, what we see is more of what on TV, what Arlington looks like, I'm there's many veterans in this group, and then veteran supporters. I'm sure you've been to a funeral and you don't see that. You don't see the military color guard unless they're retired. You're not going to see the military color guards there. what you see is, um, I don't know which page you're on. Do you see which,
You
there's
see
two
the
different ones. I
military
see
honors with the guy with
the,
the trumpet in the middle or
in the
bugle.
middle or on the bottom.
Yeah, the young man in the middle with the bugle.
Okay, so that's what we see on TV. So then, but when in reality, what we see is we have honor guards from all across the country that come out, and they're usually with a veteran service organization. So the American Legions, the VFWs, you see the DAVs, the Purple Heart. They each have um, color guards that come out and do the volleys, and then we'll also do the bugle. Sometimes they'll do the flag folding if that's what's requested. What the honor bell does is we present at the end of the veteran's funeral. So after you see those things happen, then we are their final salute. So we are Colorado based. We are the only bell in the nation that does what we do to date. So bell number one is all we have, and we are currently, by the end of this year, we will finally have bell number two, and it'll be for our Pikes Peak region. So right now we primarily serve Fort Logan National Cemetery, which is in Denver. But since our first tolling Memorial Day of 2016, we have tolled more than 7,300 times for veterans at the end of their life. So what we do is, all of our volunteers are either they're a veteran, so the bell is only tolled by veterans for veterans. So the gentleman back there, that's Patty. He's an Air Force veteran. We have a lot of dedicated patriots. Family members will come out. We work really closely with our honor guards and color guards and service member organizations. So when they decided to dedicate the bell, you'll see on the front of it, it says the honor bell is dedicated to those who have served and sacrificed. It does weigh 1,000 pounds, 37 inches in diameter. So when you look at the bell from afar, it doesn't look that big, but when you put a human body next to it, it kind of really looks a lot bigger. It was forged in Cincinnati, Ohio. There is the clapper inside of it, so is what they pull to make that bell toll. And when it tolls in the morning tone of A. So it had to be specially cast to make sure that happens. And I'm going to skip this next one because I don't know if the video is going to show. Do you think it'll show with only the notes page showing? Or maybe we'll try.
It might, but unless you click on the button to share your sound when you share it, we may not hear it. So
Okay.
you can try.
Can you hear that?
No. So if you stop share and then reshare, but when you reshare, click that little box that says share your sound.
Hey. You guys, I'm learning a lot.
We all have technical issues.
It's say share sound. I don't see a share sound. I'll try. Tell me if it's working. Anything?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what it says. How's that? So this is the gentleman in the picture that is holding the mic right now. That is Lou Oliveira. He is our founder. Him and two of his buddies were together that founded our organization. And this video right now, they're going to be actually casting that first bell. So one of the things that he did and his team did differently is they wanted to make sure that it was special and it wasn't just a bell that rang. We forged it from honor, and with that, what we did was um, there was military artifacts from 12 Colorado veterans that were cast within the bell. And so those artifacts range from aviator wings to a challenge coin from a Medal of Honor recipient. They're from private to enlisted. So there's also Purple Hearts in there. So it's the families came and they donated those artifacts to forever let their family member live on. Um, this is, so you guys see the board now that shows what they are. So we have military artifacts. The young man, the Marine Corps young man that's on the middle left, middle right side. His name is Lance Corporal Chance Phelps, who was killed in the action. And we have his artifacts. And there's also a movie that was about him. It's called Taking Chance with Kevin Bacon in it, and it's about transporting transporting Chance back to his family for his burial. So, and I just watched it yesterday just before an event, so I was really trying not to cry and make my mascara run, so I'd have to fix it all. So, so the van, we do transport the bell in a van, and so it stays permanently in that van. It slides in and out. The difference is it doesn't have that pole that you see holding up the slide. It just freestands. So we're able to go for Fort Logan National Cemetery is pretty big. I think it's the United States third largest burial rate right now. And so we go from one shelter to another shelter. So back and forth every service is not at just one. And so they're able to do that with the van. And then we also take it out doing other things on the weekends with it. One of the things that we do that differently is they really, really thought about how they wanted to make this special and make it really about veterans and the cycle of a veteran's life. So, there's 7 days in a week, which is the cycle of completion. So this constellation of stars you see on the front of the van, that's what we call the cycle of completion. And our 7 tolls. So we actually toll the bell 7 times, 7 seconds apart. For the first bell that's underneath that raised gold star you see on the bell, that's the day that you put your hand up and you make that choice to serve. And they make that commitment. Then we go into camaraderie, patriotism, camaraderie, patriotism, and then the 3 things that are important to a veteran, which are dignity, honor, and respect. And then that raised star, that very last star, that is the value of life. That is the completion of the veteran cycle of life. So we are tolling to honor them and take them home with us. So those 12 Colorado veterans that their artifacts are forever cast in the bell, we like to say that they're taking their comrade home with them when we toll that bell. And it is, again, this bell is only tolled for veterans by veterans. The only time we toll for a non-veteran is if it's a fallen first responder and they have fallen in the line of duty. The sound isn't going to work, so I will drop this link in the chat so everybody can take a look at it. Whoops, I passed it. So we do have a song back when in 2016, 2017, the author of the song began writing this song with our former executive director, and she passed away. Then COVID happened, and they never finished the song. Well, last year I was on the news talking about how our van was rear-ended, and we had to try to raise money to get a new van. And he saw me, and he finally completed the song. So the video is incredible, and I encourage everybody to take a look at it and watch it and make sure it does toll the bell at the end of it, and it's very impactful. It's a beautiful video. He did a great job. And I'm going to learn how to use Zoom better for next time. So we have 3 pillars that we like to say that we do. So the center one is our center pillar. It is bell honors. That is the number 1 thing we do. Then we also do veteran outreach. So we find that a lot of these men and women that come and toll for us, they're finding it to be a form of therapy for them. So it's better than, we have one that will tell you it's better than anything he ever received from the VA, any medical treatments. For his PTSD, he was a gunnery sergeant in Vietnam, so lost a lot of his comrades and, of course, shot a lot of people down. So he will also tell you that if it was not for the bell, he would not be with us today. So we are really grateful for that. We also have a curriculum for K through 12 that was developed with Colorado State University here, and they continue to update it and make sure that we always meet state standards with it, which is kind of cool. So you can follow us we have a website, you can follow us on social media. We spread the word, invite your friends, your groups, and how can you help? Of course, we are 100% by donations or sponsorships and whatnot. We do not charge our families or our veterans anything for what we do. Uh, Currently, we are only in Colorado. Like I don't know if I said, but we are going to be launching our second bell this year in the Pikes Peak region. So that'll be bell number 2. The ultimate goal of our founders, which 2 of our founders are no longer with us. Lou he died from suicide in 2018, and Michelle passed away in 2020 from cancer. So those 2 things are projects that are always close to us, but their ultimate goal was to be at every national cemetery across the United States. So I know some of you are not in Colorado, but we still have that big goal to be there at some point in our days. So how can I help you as an organization, and how can we connect and continue to follow our mission? Questions?
That is so impressive. And thank you for the great
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Laurie?
Sound didn't work. Yes.
Laurie, here in St. Louis, we have Jefferson Barracks.
Okay.
And I was really interested because a couple of my friends, one's a submariner. He's in the submarine service. And he told me, Ruben, when it comes to your time, what's your plans? And I go, well, that's kind of interesting because my wife, she's, a local, and apparently they have in a small town called Bourbon, Missouri, they have a plot there. I've been to a couple of funerals there. And I said to myself, boy, wouldn't it be just neat to be buried in Jefferson Barracks? He said, Ruben, do you have your DD 214?
214.
Yeah. Well, and I, went through all kinds of papers like there it is right there. So I called Jefferson Barracks. Said, yeah, Mr. Creel, we'll not only bury you, but we'll bury your wife if you wish to have that. And I said, it's amazing. Now, the question basically is you still have to go to a funeral parlor service to get this all set up. But then, of course, then they can upsell you for, whatever you need. But I got a basic package, with the cremation type thing. And at least that's something that I didn't know before.
Yeah, so for us to attend an event, all you got to do is request us. So on our website in the top corner, it says request honors, and they just request. So just like the honor guard, they have to be requested in order to do the service. We are the same way. It's because it's rules at a national cemetery. Otherwise, we just stay there all day and do every single one. We do not do for the family member. We only toll for the veteran.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Although if you do a joint ceremony, then we're still tolling for the veterans. So technically, So.
Yeah.
We do have time for maybe one more question if somebody wants to, anybody else? I would highly encourage you to post about this in the group on Alignable and on Facebook as often as you'd like. And because it's good to have this out there. I know when my son died, we wanted to have the honors done at his funeral. And I was first told that they weren't able to find somebody or get them out there at the specific time, but somebody at the last minute, a group of Marines, I believe it was, came out and did the bugle and the folding the flag and doing the honors. And that's the one thing that stands out to me the most, was just you can't it honors the best word that I can think to use for that. And but But thank you so much for sharing that. And I really
Yeah, thanks
hope
for
that.
having me.
No, I was going to ask a question.
Oh, question. Okay. I thought you were
Question.
telling us goodbye. It's like,
No. Lori, are you finding that people are requesting the bell when they cannot get a 21 gun salute or some of the other things that happen in a normal military procession?
No. So Colorado's, we have like I said, the honor guard, and they have teams that go out every single day. So typically the honor guard will have more services than we do because we're requested separately, but we work in tandem with them to make sure that no veteran is missing. So it is, you have the 21 gun volley because sometimes there's not enough for 21 people, but so you have the volleys, then you'll have like they'll do the flag foldings and the taps. Once taps plays, then the honor bell is the final thing, salute, and all of them, even the honor guard, the color guard, all of them will salute together, and then the funeral's over. So we're the very final thing. So no, it's we're typically not doing one without the other.
Okay.
So
Is the mission to eventually have one of these bells for every military cemetery in the country?
yes, yep. As long as if you can write a check, Papa John, we're ready. Excited right now. The second bell is actually getting ready to be forged. So we're pretty excited that it's come a long way, that we're finally here. It's real now. It's not just, we want to have bell number 2. So we're hoping that now that we have a roadmap on how to do it, then, bell number 3 and 4, 5, and 155 are going to be a lot easier to get to. So
thank you
there's
again so
100.
much for sharing that. Well, I shared this on here. Can y'all see the screen? It's got your basic information. Is that still all the same?
Yes, it is.
Can you put your information in the chat as well, and that
Yep.
YouTube video? I'd like to see that.
I did post the YouTube video, so it's ready.
Awesome. Okay,
And you
great.
mentioned that movie about Chance. You said that
Yes.
was the first bell ringing?
No. He's just in the first bell. His artifacts
Okay.
are in the first bell.
Okay. If anybody has not seen that movie yet, folks, take the time and find that movie because it is very moving.
What's it
And
called
it is-
again?
It is Taking Chance.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again, Lori, so much for sharing that with us. And
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.